Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night wondering if there's a better way to grow old than to just end up in a cold, lonely nursing home? For so many people between 60 and 85, that idea brings quiet dread, that feeling of losing control of your life story, just when you want to hold on to it the most. But here's the good news. The old idea that a nursing home is the only destination is simply outdated. These days, seniors all over the world are choosing living options that give them freedom, dignity, and a daily sense of belonging. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you may realize there's a more convenient, respectful path waiting for you or someone you love. Option 1, stay at home with in-home care. This is one of the most empowering choices you can make. If your heart is set on waking up in your own bed and sitting in that same chair where you've read countless books and watched the seasons change. In-home care isn't about giving up your independence. It's about protecting it. Imagine a gentle helping hand that only steps in when you truly need it. Someone to assist with cooking your favorite meals, help tidy up when your joints ache, or remind you to take your medicine on time. The goal isn't to take over your life. It's to make your days smoother, so you can keep doing what you love, right where your memories live. I think of Ella Lanner. She's 78 now, and her knees aren't what they used to be. Sometimes she forgets which pill to take when, but she has a homemaid who visits 5 days a week, not to boss her around, but to make sure she's thriving. Every morning, Eleanor still does her crossword puzzle at the kitchen table where she's done it for 30 years. She watches the birds from her window, waters her plants herself, and meets her neighbor every Sunday for coffee. She didn't need an institution. She just needed a little respectful help to keep her home. Her sanctuary truly hers. When you look at the research, seniors who age in place like this often keep their minds sharper and their spirits brighter than those who move into facilities. There's comfort in the familiar, in knowing every corner of your house by heart. For many, that feeling is worth everything. Option 2, live with family in a supportive way. Now, I know what some people think when they hear this idea that moving in with your children means becoming a burden or losing your pride. But when it's done thoughtfully, living with family can actually help you feel more needed and valued than ever before. It's not about giving up your independence. It's about creating a two-way bond that makes everyone's life richer. Imagine this. Instead of living alone, you move into a cozy apartment above your daughter's garage. You still have your own entrance, your own kitchenette, your own routine. But you also get to share dinners, watch your grandchild's baseball games, and be part of everyday family life. Look at Harold, who's 81. After his wife passed away, the nights got long and lonely. His daughter invited him to move into a renovated space above their garage. He didn't feel like an outsider. He felt like he belonged again. He eats dinner with the family a few times a week, but he can retreat to his own space whenever he wants. He gets to hear the laughter of his grandson in the yard and join in when he feels up to it. That sense of connection eases loneliness and gives him purpose. Studies show seniors who stay connected with family often feel less depressed and more engaged with life. The secret, though, is to have clear boundaries and mutual respect. You're not moving in to be a babysitter or cook. You're moving in to share life, to be there, to be loved, and to still have your own space to breathe. Option 3, aging in place. With smart home modifications, I want you to imagine the home you love. Now imagine that it grows with you instead of working against you. This is what aging in place with smart modifications is all about. It's not about stubbornly refusing to leave. It's about transforming your home so it keeps you safe and steady for years to come. More and more seniors are putting in walk-in tubs, so there's no stepping over slippery edges. Non-slip flooring. So you don't have to worry about one wrong step. Stair lifts that glide you upstairs without the fear of falling. Small changes can make a huge difference. Linda, who's 79, is a beautiful example. She took a bad fall once, and for weeks she couldn't shake the fear that it would happen again. She felt embarrassed when her daughter suggested remodeling. She thought it meant admitting she was getting old. But once the changes were done, grab bars, better lighting, motion sensors that turned lights on. When she got up in the middle of the night, Linda said she felt freer than she had in years. She could shower without fear, move around without that constant tension in her shoulders. These days, we also have so many smart devices, video doorbells, voice assistants, medical alert systems that help older adults live alone, yet stay connected and secure. Aging at home this way doesn't just protect your body, it protects your identity. When you're surrounded by your favorite photos, your books, that familiar smell of your kitchen, your brain and your heart feel at peace. For families, supporting this choice is one of the biggest acts of respect you can offer. It's your way of saying, we trust you, we believe you're still you. Option 4. Multi-generational living with clear boundaries. Now this is slightly different from just moving in with family. This is about an intentional setup where everyone's role is clear and the relationship stays strong. You see, a lot of families start off with the best intentions. They think, Mom can live with us, we'll take care of her. She'll help out too. But without clear communication, it can get messy. Resentment can creep in. Maybe the grandparents feel used, or the children feel their own space slipping away. The beauty of true multi-generational living is that it respects everyone's needs. It's not about turning seniors into unpaid babysitters or expecting them to adapt to someone else's life without question. Patricia, 83, did this beautifully with her daughter and son-in-law. After her husband passed, they invited her to move in, but not just into the spare room. They renovated part of the house. So, Patricia would have her own private suite. She has her own bathroom, her own sitting area, even her own little patio, where she grows her favorite flowers. The family agreed on when they'd spend time together and when they'd respect each other's space. Patricia has become the grandkids' official bedtime storyteller, a role she cherishes, but she's not responsible for childcare all day long. She's part of the family, not the help. This setup gives her a deep sense of purpose and connection without smothering her independence. She's heard, she's needed, she's appreciated. But she still gets her quiet mornings with her coffee and crossword and peace. So many older adults feel like they have to choose between loneliness and losing themselves in someone else's home. But with clear boundaries and honest conversations, multi-generational living can be the perfect middle ground. It's the best parts of tradition, updated for the modern world. You get the warmth and laughter of family, the calm of your own space, and the respect that keeps your dignity intact. Option 5. Independent living communities with on-demand support. Now I want you to imagine this having your own cozy apartment or cottage decorated just the way you like. but with help and company right down the hallway whenever you need it. This is what independent living communities offer. A lot of people think you have to choose between living completely alone or moving into a facility where every minute is controlled by someone else. But the truth is, there's a healthy middle ground. These communities are designed for seniors who can mostly take care of themselves. But like knowing that help is just a phone call away. You might have a dining hall if you don't feel like cooking one night, or a friendly staff member who can drive you to your doctor's appointment when your kids can't make it. Some places even offer weekly housekeeping so you can spend less time dusting and more time doing what you love. But the biggest benefit is something that often gets overlooked. Community loneliness is one of the quietest, slowest dangers for seniors. It can chip away at your joy, your purpose, even your health. But living among people in the same season of life can replace that silence with laughter, shared stories, and real friendships. Take Richard, for example. He's 78 now. After his wife passed his house, felt like a prison. His kids live hours away. He dreaded his retirement years until he found an independent living community that suited him. One with a woodworking studio, walking paths, and a weekly film club. Now he's building birdhouses again, swapping stories with his neighbors, and feeling a spark in his days that he thought was gone forever. That's what these communities are all about. They're not about giving up freedom. They're about giving you options that make your independence feel less lonely. Option 6, intergenerational living communities. This one might surprise you because it's not just about seniors living together. It's about people of all ages, sharing life in a vibrant neighborhood. You see the old model of aging tucked away in a building with only other seniors often brings that feeling of being cut off from the real world. Intergenerational communities. Flip that idea on its head. Imagine living next door to a young teacher across the street from a single mom, or next door to a college student who shares your love of gardening. It's real life, not an isolated hallway. In these neighborhoods, connection happens naturally. You might sit on the porch with a young neighbor, share a meal, or have someone help you carry your groceries without it feeling like charity. You offer your wisdom, your stories, your calm presence, and in return you get energy, laughter, and that sense that you still matter. Margaret, 76, is a beautiful example. She moved into an intergenerational community in Oregon, where high school students live in dorm-style housing nearby. Every Thursday, Margaret leads a poetry circle for those students. They in turn help her figure out her phone. When it acts up, change a light bulb she can't reach, or introduce her to new music she never would have found alone. She says she hasn't felt this alive in years. Studies back this up too. Seniors in intergenerational communities often experience slower cognitive decline and far lower rates of loneliness. And the younger residents, they grow more empathetic and grounded. It's a two-way street, and everybody wins. Option 7, co-housing with trusted friends. Now, if you've ever watched The Golden Girls, you've seen the power of this idea in action. Co-housing isn't just for college kids anymore. It's becoming a joyful, practical solution for many older adults. Instead of living alone or moving in with family, you and a few trusted friends share a home. Everyone has their own private bedroom or suite, but you share common spaces like the kitchen, the garden, and the living room. You split the bills, help each other out, and keep each other company. But you're not tied down by anyone else's rules, like you would be in an institution. It's your home, and you make the agreements together. It works best when you talk through the details up front. How do we handle chores? What happens if one of us needs extra care? How do we resolve disagreements? With clear communication, co-housing can be one of the most rewarding ways to age, full of laughter, late-night talks, and people who truly get you because they've walked the same roads. Option 8. Senior cooperative housing, or senior villages. Think of this as a neighborhood run by its own members, older adults, who pull their resources to make aging in place easier, safer, and more connected. It's not about moving into a big cold complex run by strangers. It's about staying in your own home or apartment while having access to a network of neighbors who look out for each other. In these villages, members might hire a handyman together, share rides to medical appointments, or create a calendar of social events. Some even bring in volunteers or local students to help with errands or tech problems. The power of the village is that you're not alone when you need a little help, but you're never forced to give up your privacy either. You keep your independence in your home, but you're surrounded by people who care if you don't show up for coffee. That sense of being seen, being missed. It's a quiet kind of safety net that many seniors find priceless. Option 9, tiny home or accessory dwelling unit. ADU, near family. This last option is one of the most flexible and modern choices for older adults who want to be close to family but still keep their own space. Maybe you don't like the idea of moving into your child's spare bedroom, but what if you could have a small, cozy house right in their backyard? That's what a tiny home, or ADU, is all about. It's your own little haven with a front porch for your rocking chair, your favorite photos on the wall, and your routines untouched. Yet help is just a few steps away, if you need it. Families love this setup too, because it brings generations closer while respecting everyone's privacy. You get to have Sunday dinner with your grandchildren, but also retreat to your own quiet nest when you want to rest. It's affordable, practical, and feels far less institutional than any nursing home could ever hope to be. So, take a breath. You've just heard 9 real, life-changing living options that prove aging doesn't have to feel like giving up control. In fact, you've never had more choices than you do today to live with dignity, connection, and the freedom you deserve. Maybe you see yourself thriving in an independent living community. Maybe the idea of co-housing with old friends makes your heart feel lighter. Or maybe a tiny home near family. Sounds like the perfect blend of closeness and independence. Whatever option speaks to you, remember this. Aging isn't about fading into the background. It's about choosing what matters most, protecting it fiercely, and letting the rest fall away. You've lived too much life to hand over the keys to your happiness without thought. So ask yourself, which of these choices feels right for you or someone you love? Which one makes you breathe a little easier? Just picturing it. If you found something helpful today, share it in the comments below. Tell us what you choose and how you'd make it yours. Your voice matters, and if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to know they have options too. Because growing older should never feel like the end of the story. It should feel like the chapter where you get to live exactly the way you want. You've earned it.